I apologize if you were watching grown men playing dodgeball and flag football in the Pro Bowl. I got to take your attention away from that and bring you actual Broncos news. Great news for the Denver Broncos because our rivals are showing that they are even more of a joke than ever before. So let's break it down right away. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben, and I talk about all things Denver sports. It is awesome having you along for the ride. So as of yesterday, all reports were showing that this man on the screen, Kliff Kingsbury, everyone was really high on him. Like, you remember during the pandemic how he was doing with the Arizona Cardinals. He was on Hard Knocks, had that sweet mansion in like Mesa, Arizona, and it was all windows. And he just seemed like the cool new Sean McVay, like super smart guy. He coached Pat Mahomes at Texas A&M. Now he just recently was the coach of Caleb Williams, and all signs were pointing to him signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. We have an 8-game losing streak to the Las Vegas Raiders. I was not excited about it because although there might be hype behind him and you might never live up to it, he is like a brilliant mind. And so I didn't love the idea about playing him in addition to Herbert and Harbaugh and Reid and Mahomes. I didn't look forward to that in the AFC West. So I'm just thrilled to death because not only is it great news that they don't get this potential offensive genius, but also great news that it shows that the Las Vegas Raiders are a clown show. Now, it is insane to me that we have not beat the Vegas Raiders since they've been in Vegas. We haven't beat them since they had John Gruden, and we're in the last place. And that's crazy. I think that stops this year. It's been 8 games in a row that we've lost to the Raiders. That stops next year. Mark my words, you can screenshot this or whatever. We're going to beat them next year. This just shows they're not a serious organization, and the fact that he is pulling out for not even a for sure thing. So the rumors are all saying that the reason Kingsbury is pulling out is that they think he's going to join Dan Quinn, who is now the head coach of the Washington Commanders. Now, you might remember that the Washington Commanders already have an offensive coordinator who a lot of people have been saying should be a head coach in the NFL, who a lot of people have given credit to Patrick Mahomes' success and development, who a lot of people have given Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl rings because of this guy. He's linked to the CU Buffaloes, and that is Eric Bieniemy. So Eric Bieniemy is the head coach, or is the offensive coordinator currently of the Washington Commanders. All the rumors are showing that the entire reason that Kingsbury pulled out of the Raiders job is that he anticipates getting this job. You got dominoes to fall. Washington has a very wealthy new owner as well, and so he has no problem. Like, maybe he just lets Eric Bieniemy go for nothing. But there also are a ton of rumors going around, not just in this. This is a mainline source, the Daily Mail here, in NFL circles and just pop culture circles, that this could be Andy Reid's last game as the Kansas City Chiefs head coach, which is just crazy. But I've heard that on Bill Simmons has said that on his show, and aggregators all over have picked that up, that Andy Reid might walk. And even the very, very close to his chest, Adam Schefter, who I feel like sometimes drives me nuts because he can have like a 15-minute spot on a radio show and he doesn't say anything because he doesn't want to burn bridges and doesn't want to say stuff he's not allowed to. But Schefter came out and said, it would not surprise me if Andy is considering it. He is definitely towards the end of his career. The fact of the matter is that, like, when we beat the Chiefs for the first time and broke that winning streak, I think a lot of us were saying to ourselves, this team is not going to win the Super Bowl. All they have is like a 36-year-old Travis Kelce, and Mahomes is thrown to a bunch of rookie receivers, and that line's beat up, and Reid just keeps outplaying the talent that he has there, and it's been an impressive run. So if Andy Reid leaves, who would be in line to take his spot? And there are multiple different rumors there that if Andy Reid leaves, the biggest name obviously on the board that we all know and all have been screaming from the rooftops is, could we have Bill Belichick step in? He has 14 games to catch the winningest coach in NFL history. Does he come and try to do that with the Kansas City Chiefs? The other thing would be, if Belichick moves into that spot, the heir apparent to, like, Belichick is a defensive genius, and he is great at scheming defenses. Like, look at his defense and what it did to us this year when we had everything on the line, like everything to lose, and they were down to their third string quarter. They were missing Matt Judon, and they still, like, figured us out until the last 4 minutes of that game. So he is a defensive genius. So all the reports are that if Belichick gets that job, he would want Bieniemy to come back, who already has that awesome relationship with Patrick Mahomes. And if it's not Belichick, maybe it really is just Bieniemy who gets the head coaching job in Kansas City. So I think all of these are interlinked. My antivirus, yeah, I better clean this up. This isn't even real. This is just a pop-up. But all that's super interesting. Other great news of the day is we have Peyton Manning, our favorite. I just love him. He is even though he did not spend the bulk of his career with the Denver Broncos, he considers himself a Denver Bronco, and we will take him. Feels absolutely incredible. So he is one of the coaches for the Pro Bowl. And am I the only one who's like not into this Pro Bowl at all? Like I haven't been into it since it was in Hawaii and it like actually mattered. But he is coaching, and they asked him about the Broncos. And what's cool about it is like with Peyton Manning, he is so almost like a politician, where when he is interviewed, he tells whoever's interviewing what they can ask him about and what's off limits. And they're kind of like friendly interviews, right? So he knows the questions ahead of time. Not necessarily knows the questions, but he knows like, hey, I don't want to talk about this. And what you notice over time is he does not talk about the Indianapolis Colts. And so the question became, how do you feel about the Broncos' future? And what he comes out and says here is, I am very excited about Sean Payton and what he brings and his experience. It's a tough division. The Chiefs aren't going anywhere. The Raiders and Chargers have new coaches. We have to go get it. Nobody's coming back to us. Sean knows this, and he's going to make that the focus all offseason. I'm excited for the Broncos' future. Again, they don't ask him about the Colts. I don't think he has any reason that he has to say this, right? There's like, he has nothing to lose, right? I think he says this because he truly is excited about the Broncos' future, and we should be as well, especially because the Raiders have offensive coordinators just backing out of jobs with them, and they got a rookie coach they probably reached on. That's exciting. Man, I would be thrilled if Andy Reid walked off into the sunset. If Andy Reid would walk off into the sunset, that might be enough for me to root for Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl on Sunday. Like, if you knew that was his swan song, would you all root for him as well? Because I think, whether or not it's Belichick or Bieniemy, I think there's going to be some growing pains. And we already see Travis Kelce isn't getting any younger, and Patrick Mahomes' salary isn't getting any easier to pay. And so are they going to hit a spot there where you're kind of priced out and you've reached the pinnacle there of what you can do with the talent that you have? So what do y'all think? Would you root for them if you knew that would be Andy Reid's last game and that we would have a coaching regime change in Kansas City? Last couple things to see. I just saw this tweeted out the other day. I thought it was crazy interesting, and this might be the best graph for why the Denver Broncos needed to move on from Russell Wilson, why Sean Payton benched him. So this graph is showing all NFL quarterbacks and how long it took them on average to throw, and then what percentage of throws they were pressured on. And so that's what this graph is just showing. And anytime you're in the quadrant closest to Zach Wilson and Justin Fields and the Pastronaut rookie quarterback Josh Dobbs and Bryce Young, like, that's not the quadrant you want to be in. And you just see Justin Fields and Russell Wilson are the biggest defenders. And you just see that the Bears traded a lot to get Justin Fields, yet they're trying to get rid of him now because, like, they're not happy with him. And so I think you're in this quadrant. This is the reason why that Sean Payton devises his offense to have guys open before this, and Russell Wilson is continuing to hold the ball longer than he needs to and not seeing guys open. That's why we've seen Jerry Jeudy's numbers not be where they were under Stidham and under backup quarterbacks last season even. Jerry Jeudy is a great route runner and gets open when he's supposed to. Russell Wilson holds the ball too long and doesn't see him. Jerry Jeudy stops running his route. And I want a receiver who keeps running and does a scramble drill. But that's Jerry Jeudy gets frustrated because he's wide open on his break, looking for the ball. He's ready for it. It's not there. He pouts. But the fact is, like, if Russell Wilson ran the play that Sean Payton had drawn up, that ball's right in his hands. And So interesting there. I'd love to hear all y'all's take on that. I don't want to go too much longer here, so we will wrap up shop with this. The Raiders are a clown show. The Chiefs might lose Andy Reid. Peyton Manning is excited about her future. Y'all should be too. Broncos Country, giddy up.